Good morning, anchors. It is Sunday, September 18, 2022, a great day for our future. We have 2,994 days left until Thanksgiving Day 2030. Here's today's questions from our anonymous confessional from buymeacoffee.com/worldpeace. Free. Remember, this is entertainment. I am a real minister, ordained by the Immaculate Church of the Internet. This way, we can be the world's most functional safe space. If you download the Anchor app, you can leave us voicemails we'll play on our show. Anchor gives you tools to make a podcast of your own. And together with World Peace Free, we can make it easy for everyone to be neighborly. Help us stay ad-free with just $3 virtual coffee at buymeacoffee.com/worldpeace. Free. You can even message our show anonymously. Just make sure you click the button for privacy. Question number 1. I noticed something going on with your Instagram. Are you finally ready to go out there with your message? Yes, I am. It took so long because I needed to build a platform that would allow me to have some normalcy at family dinners. But at the rate this administration is escalating their other-siding rhetoric, I do feel an urgency to go out there and do something. So may Providence guide me with the rest of my days. Question number 2. Why don't you go to church? Well, because there are people that exist to spread hate, humiliation, chaos, and division. And sometimes those people go to church. I used to believe that they go to church to stop being those people. But I've also found those people sometimes won't admit that they are those people, even with irrefutable evidence. So I made this podcast to gather all the people that want peace and can peacefully compare notes and nuance so that we could all grow together. And while the difficult people are busy doing it their way, we could all simply focus on building the best future for the kids of our kids, without distractions of their drama. In summary, I don't go to church because I'm actually running one through our show /ministry, World Peace for Free. Tomorrow's question. Why did you set out to create this character and make this podcast? Of course, tomorrow's episode is always available for WPFF.locals.com community. And you can listen to the podcast there, Spotify, or Anchor. But only locals can break space time with me. Let's do the intro YouTube intro. That was good. That was so... Welcome to World Peace, free, everyone's favorite audience-generated museum of events until 2030. I'm your time-traveling host, and you're in the future, so if you haven't yet, please subscribe so we can be the biggest YouTube channel not part of the ad money program. Today is Success Story Sunday, content to boost your spirit. I'm not here to judge, just here to listen and give honest opinions. Clip number 1. I think this is the only clip today. All right, let's check it out. Hi, time-traveling minister. I have this clip for your first Success Story Sunday. Now I could tell my friends I could say I was the first, and the clip I sent was about my favorite lad, Elon Musk. This guy, what a story. The risks he took. I watch this compilation almost twice a week since it came out. It ties together all the interviews when things were going belly up for him. This life and these times. It's important to keep your mind on the people that want positive outcomes. Thanks for doing this, buddy. Ben Shapiro. All right, that's obvious. That's not Ben Shapiro. It was not like I love the bro humor there, but it's not Ben Shapiro. It's not really Ben Shapiro. All right, that's a recent character, so therefore, I feel like I should clarify that. Anyway, let's check out this clip. I want to see what you sent me. Why it's really important to you. Let's press play now.
You know, there are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that you're developing it, and I wonder what you think of that.
I was very sad to see that, because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here. And I think that would change their mind.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
Did you expect them to cheer you on?
So they're hoping they would.
What are you trying to prove to them?
What I'm trying to do is to make a significant difference in spaceflight and help make spaceflight accessible to almost anyone.
One of the most difficult choices I have ever faced in life was was in 2008. I think I had maybe $30 million left, or $30 or $40 million left in 2008. I had two choices. I could put it all into one company, and then the other company would definitely die, or split it between the two companies. But if I split it between the two companies, then both might die. When you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, or building something, it's like a child. And so it's like, which one am I going to let one starve to death? I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I split the money between the two. Fortunately, thank goodness, they both came through.
What was your biggest failure, and how did it change you?
Well, there's a ton of failures along the way, that's for sure. Except for, as I said, for SpaceX, the first 3 launches failed. And we actually were just barely able to scrape together enough parts and money to do the 4th launch. If that 4th launch had failed, we would have been dead. So multiple failures along the way. I tried very hard to get the right expertise in for SpaceX. I tried hard to find a great chief engineer for the rocket, but the good chief engineers wouldn't join, and the bad ones, well, there was no point in hiring them. So I ended up being chief engineer of the rocket. So if I could have found somebody better, then we would have maybe had less than 3 failures.
That 3rd failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. So many people tried to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy. One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money. We're doing these things that seem unlikely to succeed, and we've been fortunate, and at least thus far they have succeeded. Now is the time to take risk. You don't have kids. As you get older, your obligations increase. And once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
How did you figure you were going to start a car company and be successful at it?
Well, I didn't really think Tesla would be successful. I thought we would most likely fail. But I thought that we at least could address the false perception that people had that an electric car had to be ugly and slow and boring like a golf cart.
But you say you didn't expect the company to be successful, then why try?
If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure.
Or how do you think about making a decision when everyone tells you this is a crazy idea? Or where do you get the internal strength to do that?
Well, first of all, I'd say I actually think I feel fear quite strongly. So it's not as though I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough, that you do it in spite of the fear. I think about what technology solution is necessary in order to achieve the particular goal, and then try to make as much progress in that direction as possible. I think being a multi-planet species and being out there among the stars is important for the long-term survival of humanity, and that's one reason. But then the part that I find personally most motivating is that it creates a sense of adventure, and it makes people excited about the future. If you consider 2 futures, one where we are forever confined to Earth until eventually something terrible happens, or another future where we are out there on many planets, maybe even going beyond the solar system, I think that second version is incredibly exciting and inspiring, and there need to be reasons to get up in the morning. Life can't just be about solving problems. Otherwise, what's the point? There's got to be things that people find inspiring and make life worth living. When my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had one computer, so the website was up during the day, and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. And I sort of briefly had a girlfriend in that period, and in order to be with me, she'd have to sleep in the office. So work hard, like I mean, every waking hour. That's the thing I would say, particularly if you're starting a company. Whatever area that you get into, given that even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. If you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. I mean, it's something that your mind is drawn to, and if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think.
I was just finishing, if Howard Hughes lived during the age of social media, where would we be now? Thank God for quotes and experience and examples from Elon Musk. Wow, I didn't know why I would be. Yeah, I teared up a little bit. I don't know where that came from, and that is earth shattering. And you know what's really crazy? I just looked up this video has almost 1 billion views. 9 million. Oh no, wait, no, not a billion. I'm sorry. 10 million views. It's at 9 million views right now. And this is what's so amazing about today's technology, where I have shivers knowing that there's people like this in my time, and we could talk to them, and they're talking to us through these clips, where they immortalize their sentiment and their struggles, so that we could see it and we could be like, wow, we could do that too. I remember making my first logo for my personal training company, and I put so much effort into it, and I recognized that feeling of, well, I might have to let something go, and unfortunately, my personal training business had to die so that this could come around, and I think that's where the shakes are coming from right now. And it's because like there's a kindred spirit amongst I feel dreamers. I feel like there's a kindred spirit amongst dreamers where there's just so much people out there that want you to fail, or it feels like sometimes the world wants you to fail, and sometimes Providence just sends you a reminder that to push on and not give up. Anyway, we needed to visually prove that there are two types of people in our society: people that exist to spread hate, humiliation, chaos, and division, and people that want peace. So we put it in our title, World Peace Free. And guess what were the two main reactions? What's the show about? And are you Christian? Grr. So we figured it would be fun to be one of those internet ordained ministers and open this on. I don't want to end this right now. I don't want to keep on talking, but because this is what happens. Like, I feel like I'm emotional. I don't want that to be captured on camera. That's the camera. I don't want this to be captured on camera. I'm working on that. I'm working on emotions and being more vulnerable. And I recognize that I was copping out just now. I had more things to say about feelings of deep heart failure. It's so crazy that the last question in yesterday's episode was, what do you do when you have those feelings of failure? And I gotta be honest, when I gave that first answer, there was flashbacks. But in those flashbacks of those deep heart failures, and there have been many, once again, somebody comes along the way and offers you the right words, and I'm thinking about that person right now. He's not on this planet anymore. He's somewhere else. And he actually convinced me that I wouldn't be happy doing personal training anymore. I would be happier helping people with what I learned and the experiences that I've gone through. And the best way to do that is utilizing the technology that we have today. And he reminded me that there's I don't want to mention names, by the way, because like this is the future now. I'm kind of like I have the Bill Burr mindset, where it's like there's crazy people out there. Until we lower the amount of crazy people in the world, then I'll be okay with sharing names and whatnot. But yeah, sometimes the fate sends you the right words and the right timing to let you know that, and open your eyes to the technology that's available today, and realizing that it's normal for companies to have a podcast of your own. Because if you make a company, like, think of the word company, and he taught me this. Think of the word company. It's a community. It's a community of like-minded people, and we needed to visually prove that there are two types of people in our society: people that exist to spread hate, humiliation, chaos, and division, and people that want peace. So I put in our title, World Peace for Free, and guess what were the two main reactions? What's the show about? And are you Christian? Grr. So we figured it would be fun to be one of those internet ordained ministers and open this anonymous confessional and free space, so everyone can have a place to ask stuff like, how would George Carlin start a church? And what would happen if the apostles had social media? And for the kids of our kids, what should we normalize? Let us know in the comments below, and even better, leave a voicemail for us at anchor.fm/worldpeace. Free. Everyone's, share news and events you want to immortalize in our comment sections. Remember, you are loved, missed, and thought about every day. Have fun and be neighborly, y'all. Take care. Woo! That got real for a second. All right.